Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Another episode of the Jake Break coming to you live here Monday morning, Tuesday afternoon, whenever you're listening to this episode. But a very special episode, not only because Trent and I are coming to you fresh from the Total Archery Challenge, or TAC as we referred it to for weeks now, but also a very special episode, Trent. We officially hit the 1 year mark of the Jake Break. So, how are we doing tonight, and what do you think about all this?
Yeah, we were actually driving to Seven Springs when I was like, next episode is a year, which is just kind of crazy to think about, that we haven't missed a single week. It has been exactly 1 year since we started this whole ordeal. Let me go back and check. Yeah, because this is episode 52, and last year on June 9th, the first episode released.
Dang. It's crazy how much time flies when you're having fun.
That's right. So, yeah, man, it feels good. A little exhausted from our adventure, but we'll get into that here in a bit, because this episode, sorry about it if you're not interested in archery, but this is going to be a Total Archery Challenge recap. You know, pretty much start to finish. For any of you out there who have not gone, want to go, unsure what to expect, we can give you kind of the rundown of what we got to experience.
That's right. So we'll jump right into the show here. Like Trent said, we got a lot of ground to cover. Still going to keep to our usual segments for the week. The only one we're skipping for this week is the sports segment, because, like Trent said, we have a ton of stuff to cover from the Total Archery Challenge. Our first year at it, and I don't know. By the way, Trent and I talked, I think it'll be the first of many years ahead of us for TAC if we can make it back, because what an experience. But before we jump into that discussion there, Trent, breaking question segment for the week here. Got to put it forward to you here. A loyal fan of the show recognized that last week, meaning this week, was going to be our 1 year anniversary of the show. So they fired in a question here. What is your favorite memory from the show a year into it? Do you want to take the charge on this one, or do you want me to lead off?
You can go for it. I have to think.
All right. So a lot of good memories. We might even put together like a recap video of some of the most, viral clips or the funniest clips. But I got to say, hands down, Trent, my favorite memory of the show, and there's been a lot of good ones, like it's hard to narrow it down to just one, but my favorite has got to be when Ohio State was playing Penn State last season, and you made a comment. You said, okay, should I rage bait the Ohio State fans, or should I tell how it's actually going to go down?
Yeah.
And you rage baited, we clipped it, we put it out there, and it went ballistic.
Yeah.
The Ohio State fans came in heavy and hot on you there, Trent, and it was a tough scene. But yeah, that's got to be probably my favorite moment of the show. Either that or it's a tie-up. I don't know. I forget which episode it was. It might have been episode 25. Whenever we had our two special guests on, Nate and Tim.
Yeah.
That was a special episode too. I mean, with Greg. Yeah, way too many to count. But I think the Ohio State clip's probably going to be my favorite one so far.
Yeah, I would say those were the two things that came to mind for me. The episode with Nate and Tim, that was just a blast. I mean, it feels like a lot of these episodes fly by, but that one was one that just kind of like, before we knew it, we were already like an hour in. Other than that, I really enjoyed filming it wasn't, I guess, podcast per se, but filming like the archery videos that we did, the 3D shoots.
Oh yeah, good point.
That one, even though it wasn't a podcast episode per se, it was a long form content on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thoroughly enjoy it. We just get to come on here once a week for, screw around for an hour and just talk to a microphone.
That's right.
So, yeah, there's not one thing that sticks out to me the most because I enjoy doing it. So,
Heck yeah.
but yeah, it's just crazy that we're a year in already, Jake.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel real. Like, I feel like this time last year, we were discussing the idea, throwing it around, and we are like, you know what, heck with it. Let's just do this. And sure enough, in the last year, appreciate everyone's support of the show, everyone tuning in week after week, just giving us a follow, a simple like, telling their friends and family about it. We're hopeful to keep this train rolling, another 52 episodes, bringing on some more guests, some more people. I know Trent and I have said that for weeks on end now. We do have some people lined up to get on the show here. Summertime logistics are just chaotic, right? Everyone knows that. So we're trying to make it happen, make it work. We'll get there. But just appreciate everyone tagging along for the ride here. Like we said, Jake break to the moon in 2026. And by God, we're going to make it happen, Trent.
That's the goal.
But good deal. Awesome. Well, transition. I feel like we just got to jump right into it. I don't know where to start, where to end, but I think we just got to jump right into it. What a magical weekend. First of all, I guess, Trent, I think we got to tell the listeners how we even got there, right? I'm very new to the whole, archery shooting world. Like, how did you hear about it? How did you get us there?
Yeah, so, I've heard about this Total Archery Challenge for years. I think I was actually back in high school when I first heard about it. So for those of you who don't know, this is called the Total Archery Challenge. It's a 3D archery, so instead of just shooting, a foam or a bag target, these are all 3D foam animal targets. And, some of you probably have done 3D archery in the past at local clubs or events, where you step up to a flag or a cone and you see the target 20 to 40, 50 yards away, shoot, go get your arrow, move on to the next. The Total Archery Challenge is 3D archery on steroids.
Yeah.
This event is to put archers to the limits. It is made to make you break arrows, to make you lose arrows, to make you almost lose sanity. There are times when you step up to the cone where you shoot and you don't even know where the target's at.
Yeah.
And that's not an exaggeration. There were times that I had to give Jake my binoculars because he goes, and I'm explaining to him, I'm like, you see that tree? I'm like, yep. He's like, yep. I'm like, look just to the left and a little bit down. He's like, I don't see it. I had to give my binoculars for him to actually see the target.
Yeah.
But so this event goes across the entire nation. I believe they have 15-ish events, maybe a little less. But back in, I think, when did we register? February?
I believe so, yeah. I think it was middle to beginning of February sometime.
Yeah, so for those of you, if you're interested and want to go, piece of advice: follow their Facebook page, look online, see when registration opens for the state or the event you want to go to. Registration opened, I believe it was 1 p.m. on a day in February. I was on 3 minutes after registration opened, so I got online at 1:03. When I clicked register now, it said I was 16,000th and some odd number in line. And I was in a queue. And they told me to put my email in, and I would get an email when it was my turn to register. It was 2.5 hours later I got the email. So at that point, we wanted to originally shoot Thursday, Friday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday. At that point, the only thing that was left was Thursday. Mm-hmm. Just a single day. So that's what we ended up doing. Yeah. I had no idea registration was going to be like that. I knew it was tough, but Seven Springs in Pennsylvania is the largest event of the Total Archery Challenge circuit, and the most highly sought after, so it goes quick. Very quick.
That it did. I'll tell you what. But, what an awesome experience, right? Our very first time going, I was dumbfounded. Honestly, I wasn't sure what to expect. Like I said, I grew up shooting bow a little bit. I wasn't hardcore. I archery hunted some, but not, a ton. So this year, getting more into the archery shooting world with Trent here has just been awesome. But whenever you showed, like we went, so to paint the picture here, we went out to the resort Wednesday night, pulled in later Wednesday night, checked into the hotel, got ready, gear all set up and everything for the next day. When we looked out that front balcony Wednesday night and saw the whole practice range and kind of the vendor village there with all the vendors all set up and stuff, I was blown away, dude. Like, it's just unbelievable. And then whenever you actually, like when we woke up the next morning, we went very early for registration, our knock time, which is very similar to like a tee time in golf, if you're familiar with that. Like basically our registered start time for our first course was at 10:30. We were down there at like 7:15 to register. And Trent, I think that was the best idea that you had all weekend because like Trent said, it's a very popular event, especially the Seven Springs location. We got there at 7:15. We had like 10 or 12 people in line. We registered. We were ready to go whenever 10:30 or 10 o'clock came around. But when we went down, what time was it? Like 8:30 to shoot the practice range. There was a line, I'm telling you, of a couple hundred people deep, probably. It was just nuts.
It might have been over 500.
Yeah, honestly.
That line was every bit of 200 yards long, and 3 to 4 people wide.
Yeah. Yeah, and what did the one, so we'll get into like what we did during the day, but like the one group that we shot with, didn't they say they were in the registration line for like a couple hours or something just because there was that many people?
2.5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. And I mean, just the sheer amount of people. When we came out there to the practice range, we were like, oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
And so the reason why they do the knock times is because it's that popular, right? So you have to, when you pick a day to shoot, you can schedule one knock time per day. So we only got Thursday because everything else was sold out. Then you had to pick a course. The only course that was available was the lacrosse course. And there's 9 different courses. So we selected the lacrosse course, and then you can choose what knock time you want to shoot. Earlier in the morning you choose, you have an extra fee. So most courses begin between like 7 and 8. Those early knock times, like between like 7 and 9, I believe is like an extra $10. And then between like 9 and 11 is extra $5. But it's worth your money because after you shoot your knock time, after 1 p.m., you're allowed to go back and shoot whatever course you'd like. Mm-hmm. You don't need a knock time. So the earlier ones, you get back, you're done. At 1 p.m., you can go back up the mountain, choose whatever course you want to shoot, and go for it. But I don't even... So then we came out and went to the practice range. And the practice range probably had 40 targets.
Yeah, at least I'd say.
I mean, and we have some clips and some videos of it. You can't tell how steep the practice range is, but imagine you're staying at the very base of the ski slope, like a ski slope. That's what the range is. So you're shooting up the hill at these targets, and you're in a line of, I don't know, 50, 60 shooters, and there's arrows just flying down.
It was wild.
Yeah, man, it's incredible. It's a good place to, warm up, loosen up a little bit before your knock time. Especially there's people that drove in that morning, so, a little stiff, get their reps in before we hit the course.
Yeah.
And then, so after we warmed up, then the course that we shot, we actually had to go to a shuttle. So we went to a parking lot, hopped on a school bus, and they shuttled us, I don't know, just 3-5 minutes, something like that, to the course. And then, I was expecting, they give you a wristband that you put on your bow that has your name and knock time and the course on it. When we got to the shuttle location, there was a guy there make sure we're at the right spot, checking our, wristband. And he said, yep, you get on the bus, go to the course. In my mind, I was expecting a tee time starter at the course. Checking wristbands, checking your times, and you go off in groups. In my head, there was no more. The groups were supposed to be 6 or less. So I thought they would have paired us up with 4 other, shooters at that 10 a.m. time. It ain't that way. We got on the shuttle, we get to the course, and there's a group of, I don't know, how many of us were there? 12, 15?
Yeah, something like that, I'd say.
And people just start going. There's no one there to, like, kind of arrange things. We just start shooting. So I didn't really expect that, but Jake, you want to let them know how the first target of the day went?
Yeah, I think that's a great way to segue into actually the shoot itself. So, like Trent said, we participated in the lacrosse course, it was called. Very unique course. We started out, you right away go right into the woods, right? I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of, fluctuation or change in that. It was all pretty much in the woods for the most part. Very first target of the day, I don't even remember what animal it was, but kind of uphill a little bit, right? And I think it was maybe, 35, 40 yards?
Yep.
Not a real extremely difficult shot. Like I said, don't remember what kind of animal it was. Like I said, very novice of this, and wasn't even thinking, in all honesty, of what was around the target, nothing. I just figured, okay, well, I'll aim, put my sight on this, and just blast away. Well, that was the case if I would have shot at the target. Here, I was not, the sight was not a good spot, and I forgot how much my arrow would arc a little bit, and I smacked. I mean, absolutely cracked a tree right on the first shot. And so leading up to this, I guess I should do the precursor here. I made sure I had plenty of arrows that I did not have an emotional attachment to. Because I knew, and they encourage you to do this, I knew that I was bound to break, lose, or not find a couple. And on the first one, I smacked a tree, obliterated this arrow. I mean, there was no shot of me shooting it again. And I looked at Trent, and I said, oh my gosh, this is going to be a long day. What did I sign up for? Because, I mean, that was the first one. I was thinking, okay, 35 yards, this isn't that bad. And, it tore me up after that. But then, it got better. It got better. I mean, I don't know, Trent, you want to go into more detail on what the course was like, but it did get better, and I didn't lose as many, I should say, as I expected.
Yeah, that first target where you were supposed to stand, that same overhanging tree sapling kind of bent over. There's a cone where you're supposed to shoot. So I stood right behind the cone. I shot first. I shot, and I can't remember if my arrow, it went under the branch. Mm-hmm. Jake stood like 2 yards to the left of the cone, and I don't think he understood, like, knew what was up yet. He was like 2 yards to the left of the cone, and you could still see the target from there. But that's fired. I heard that crack. People behind us started laughing. They're like, "Yep, that's the Total Archery Challenge for you."
Well, and that was the funny part, right? So there was these two people that kind of were near us, and we said to them, "Hey, do you want to go?" And they're like, "No, go ahead." Well, then they actually eventually just paired up with us, and we had a great time with them. Never met these people a day in our lives. A lot of fun, super nice people. I mean, that's one thing, I wasn't sure what to expect on the course, right? I mean, there were some people that were going to be darn near professional, and then there were some people that are probably closer to my age, right? Or not my age, my skill level, right? Just kind of getting rolling here, dipping the toe back in the water. And I'm telling you what, the people that we interacted with, no matter which trail we were on, where we were at in the entire event, just awesome people, right? Yeah. I mean, just super cool, very nice, very welcoming people. I was blown away by that. That was awesome.
Yeah, the lacrosse course was pretty technical, I'll say that. Mm-hmm. It was 40 to, most shots I think were between 40 and 80 yards. So you don't have 20-yard chip shots. And even the second shot of the day I think was like 38, but there was 2 logs laying like this, horizontally, with a foot gap in between them, 5 yards in front of the target. So I told Jake, I said, you want to aim right above that bottom log, because your arrow is going to arc, and if you hold any higher, arrow's going to arc right in that top log. He did listen, and his arrow squeaked right between the 2 logs. But that was the first 2 shots of the day. But there was so many that thick vegetation, thick leaves, that there were targets that you could literally just see like a white blob, part like of a mountain goat, mm-hmm. but leaves are just in the way, and you're just rifling your arrows through leaves or hoping for the wind to gust or stop so you get a clearer shot. But yeah, it was a good course. I liked it.
Yeah, I enjoyed that course a lot. Like I said earlier, right? It was pretty much primarily in the woods, right? I don't think we were out in the open a whole lot or in fields or anything like that. It was all pretty much in the woods. A lot of kind of, different angled shots, but not anything extreme, I would say. There was definitely some angle to the shots, but like Trent said, a lot of like coverage for the shots. There wasn't any, I can't recall any that were just like wide open target, boom, there you go, which was fun, right? I mean, that's why it's called the Total Archery Challenge. It's a little bit of a challenge and made you think and be technical and precise in how you shoot. And I don't know, it was just a blast. There was 25 targets on that course.
20 on the first one.
Yeah, 20 targets on that. A lot of like wild animal targets, but it was just a blast, right? I mean, that one, there was a lot of people on the course. We paired up with those two people, and then we interacted with the folks kind of in front of us, and just the stories you'd hear. Everyone's using different technology, different equipment, just kind of chatting about what that is. And like I said, I'm relatively new to the 3D archery shooting world, and the people that we eventually just paired up with and went together with, they were like helping me out, giving me pointers along with Trent. It was just awesome. Like, these people weren't saying, hey, this guy, what the heck's he doing? He's shooting this bow, he's shooting these arrows. Like, what's he even doing at this thing? Yeah. They were like, hey, try this, do this. Like, oh, this is cool. Like, you ought to try this sometime. Like, I don't know. I was just blown away. But the first course was awesome. It wasn't, like, physically demanding, I didn't think. Like, there were some inclines and ups and downs and, going to get arrows and stuff, but it wasn't, like, physically demanding by any means, I didn't think, compared to the second course.
Yeah, the first half, or just over the first half of that course, there was a manicured trail that led from target to target for most of the first half. But that is from getting from target to target. That's not from getting from shooting location to the target.
Yeah.
Getting from shooting location to the target, it's not a manicured trail. There's steep drops that drop 15 feet down, slick, muddy slopes through briars. It's not just a walk in the park, put it that way. But what we'll get into next with the next course, this course, the lacrosse course, was a very easy hike compared to what we experienced for number 2. But yeah, we wrapped up that first course, hopped back on the shuttle, got back down to by registration, and we were kind of deciding what do we want to do, what course do we want to shoot next. We wanted to ride the ski lift up to the top of the mountain. So there was, I think, like 6 courses on the top. First course we were interested in, he's like, it'd probably be half an hour, 45 minutes till we can get you up the mountain. So like, alright. So we went to the other lift where the more, challenging courses are, and the guy's like, oh yeah, we can send you up right now. So we grabbed our bags, hopped on the lift, and up the mountain we went. But that's when we went up to the knock-on course. And that was 40 to 100 yards, all like Western big game, is what the kind of theme was for that. So we took the lift to the top of the mountain, walked decent ways, hopped on a shuttle, then they shuttled us to the start of the course.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain, like, when we got up there, what that was like?
Oh, it was wild. So, like Trent said, I never rode a ski lift before, at least not that I can remember. So that was an incredible experience on its own. I didn't look down. So for those of you that don't know, I think I might have said this on the show many episodes ago, but I'm not a fan of heights at all. At all. I'm 6'4", 6'5", but I can't stand heights, dude. Ever since I've been little, I haven't been able to tolerate them. But I made it through. I was fine on the ski lift. It was actually kind of fun. But then we got up there after we took the shuttle bus then to start this course, the knock-on course. It was unbelievable. We were sitting on top of like a mountain essentially that was like an old air runway, like an airport runway. And the wind was just howling on top there. I mean, I'm talking probably, 20, 30 mile per hour wind gusts?
Oh, I mean, it was probably a sustained 15 constant and then gust probably up to 30 or so.
Yeah.
And in some of the videos we have, you can hear the wind ripping. But and it was a straight crosswind for all the shots that were on top there on the runway.
Yeah.
But I think it was the first, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5 targets were all up on this runway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wide open, no trees, wind, and before you know it, we go into the abyss.
That's a great way to put it, yeah.
But we'll just say the first shot on the knock-on course was at a Bigfoot.
At 97 yards away.
Yeah, a giant green Bigfoot, 97 yards away to say, welcome to the knock-on course.
Yeah.
And we have a picture that we can post and some clips of that. But first arrow I sent, that hit the money.
Oh, heck yeah. It was perfect.
Yep. And then your arrow was recoverable.
It was. It definitely was.
It may or may not have skipped off the ground into a giant boulder. Carbon Express. They're built to last, man.
Yeah, I think we got to give a huge shout out to Carbon Express there. I know they were at the show or the event. Wish we would have had the time to just stop by and shake one of their hands, because I'm telling you what, they came through. If you've watched the previous YouTube videos, you know how much I praise Carbon Express. But after this shoot, I'm even going to sing their praises even more. If there's only one person in this world that's buying Carbon Express arrows, it will be me. I will be that guy, because it was just unbelievable, like the brutal beating they took this weekend, and still just power through whenever we could find them. But yeah, that first one was just wild. I mean, 97 yards, Sasquatch is probably what, like a 6 foot tall, 7 foot tall target.
Probably 8.
Yeah, that's true. Probably closer to 8 to get up to the top of the head. But it was just wild, right? I mean, cool shot to start off with. And then we went through, like Trent said, 5 or 6 targets, I think. They were relatively open up on the top of this runway. And then all at once, we just drop into the woods. And we are gone. We are gone at that point into the open world. I mean, we're going right into it. So was the first target after we dropped into the woods the cliff one? Okay. So
yeah, how about you talk? Go ahead. You can talk about this one.
So this is what I thought it was. But so we go in there and we see there's a path that cuts up to the right and it has ribbon. So you followed the ribbon everywhere you went. And then there was a trail with like a rope that walked down underneath this. I was like, I think we go up there. And Trent's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll go up there, because there was a group that we saw walking down there. And there was 3 people that were in front of us, so we chatted with the whole time on this trail too, and we saw them kind of go up through there, so we went there. Well, here, it was like a skinnier trail. You walk up, and then there's like a big boulder that drops off, and the drop off to the ground is probably, what, 40 feet?
40 to 50.
Yeah, it's pretty significant drop off. There's a guy there, I think that was part of the staff, or somebody that was volunteering there, just kind of watching safety-wise. There was like a white sheep, and you literally were like shooting straight down on this target. It was only 30 yards or something.
Yeah, and with angle compensation, it was only like 22 yards.
That's right. Yeah,
because it was so straight down.
Yeah,
when it was more than, if you would hold your bow straight out, and I call that 90 degrees, it was more than 45.
Oh yeah,
it probably was down to like 20 to 30 degrees.
100%. And I mean, granted, like I've said, now I am not a fan of heights at all. And let me tell you, I did not get anywhere close to this green cone either. I was, not that it was like on the edge of the cliff, but I was like standing there and I could just feel like the chest tightening up. I could feel like the like tightness trying to breathe. Like the heart was racing a little bit. The hands were getting sweaty. I was like, oh man, I cannot get any closer to this. So I was like hugging against these bushes, and I knew for sure, I was like, there's no way I'm going to hit this target. Like my hands were shaking that bad. And I just rifled it, not even close. I don't remember if we recovered that one or not. I think we did. Yeah, that's right. But that one was a chip shot that I should have made. If we come back to that trail next year, that course next year, I'm bound to determine I'm making that shot, but I was terrified, dude. But it wasn't that bad.
I wish I could have filmed it, because he stood up there, and he looked like he got settled, and he put his release on his bowstring. Then he took one shuffle back, and then he went to like raise his bow. Then he took another shuffle back, and then he took one more shuffle back. So his right shoulder was like in a bush, and I was like, I was about to say, what are you doing? Yeah. And then he draws back and shoots. And I was like, get far enough back there. And he was like, I'm terrified, man. I'm terrified.
Dude, I wasted no time on that shot. I don't even know if I looked through the sight at all. Honestly, I drew up, bam, like I rifled one down there. Because, I mean, they did not put you in a spot where you were literally like hanging off the cliff. Right. It wasn't close at all, but it was just in my head. I was like, I cannot get close to this edge.
It was a relatively flat, like, rock outcrop.
Yeah.
But it wasn't flat. It wasn't angled like you were off the cliff. It was relatively flat, but you didn't have the best footing. So, like, the thing is, people don't understand is, like, when you're looking through a bow sight, your focus is on the target and not so much on your footing. So then your balance can get a little bit weird, so I can see why you were a little bit. But then, like Jake said earlier about the rope going down, so we loop back around this rock outcrop, and to get down the hill, they have these ropes. If they didn't have those ropes, we would have just sat down and slid on our butts the whole way down this hill.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was steep. You had to hold your entire body weight by this rope with your bow in one hand, rope in the other, and just kind of shimmy down foot by foot until you got down. Because the day before, they got like over an inch of rain, close to 2 inches of rain. So all the trails from all the people walking and hiking, solid mud.
Mm-hmm.
There were times where we were up to our ankles or more. And one time I stepped in what I thought was pretty firm ground, and I went up to about low shin of just straight mud.
Yeah.
But yeah, once we dropped down in there, that's when it's crazy, because the first time my shots were pretty much wide open, and then all of a sudden we drop down in, and there are shots that we have a window between trees of literally 4 inches.
Mm-hmm.
You miss 2 inches right, you're in a tree. You miss 2 inches left, you're hitting a tree. The wind's blowing crazy, trees blowing in the way, out of the way. I mean, shots that you look at the target and you're like, how are we even going to shoot this target?
Yeah.
And it was difficult too with all the stuff in the way. Trying to range the target was a hard part, because you're trying to range the target, but you're hitting the 4 obstacles in front of the target, where they purposely place these targets so that way you're aiming. There's some of those targets you were aiming directly into a log. But you have to remember your arrow is going to arc over top, so you're not actually aiming on the target. You're aiming at the log that's in front of the target. I mean, just
it was wild.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Yeah, and I mean, I would in 100% do it again tomorrow. Or next year. It was just awesome. Like, unlike anything I've ever experienced, and I feel like no matter what archery shoot you go to, you're not going to experience something like this. And I'm looking forward to next year, Trent, because I mean the knock-on course was tough terrain. Like, it was up and down, rocky, tough climbs, like you were describing there with that 5th or 6th shot, like going to the next one. But unbelievable. I mean, so much fun, so cool. And we didn't even take the hardest terrain course from what we understand. Like, there's some that are even tougher yet, which would be awesome in my book. But like, for example, there was one shot where there was a branch literally right in the way. It was like 65, 70 yard shot. You literally got down on your knees and shot, and still was borderline, not missing that branch. I mean, it was just unbelievable.
Yeah. They purposely, place these targets and the cones, your shooting location, to make it as difficult as possible. It'll test your limits. It's going to make you a better archer. Mm-hmm. No doubt. It's going to make you frustrated. But yeah, in like the knock-on course, it's not like the hike wasn't unbearable by any means. No. I think part of it, I told Jake, it was after that course was 25 targets. It was after target like 12 on that course. I told Jake, I said, my body's starting to feel it. Yeah. Because at that point, after the first course, we were already like 4 miles in. At the end of the day, we were over 10 miles of hiking. And it's not just a hike on a trail. You're being a mountain goat.
Yeah,
right?
You're carrying gear, carrying a bow. Yeah.
Yeah. But for those of you who may be interested in going, Jake, what are some of your necessities, your must-haves?
Yeah, good question. Honestly, first timer, I think a couple key things to me, right? I'll give you my top three things to make sure you have along. And I'd be curious to hear what your top three things are because, we could go on for forever. Maybe not even top three. Like I'll do my takeaways here. Big one, obviously, is a good bow, right? Something that's going to be reliable. Something you can kind of carry easily. You don't want a big, heavy old bow carrying around all day through these courses. It's just not going to be comfortable or, not much fun if you have something heavy or something you're not confident with. So, bow, a good quality bow you're confident and comfortable with is big. Two, make sure to pack some like snacks, drinks. I mean, they have water like throughout the course, like halfway through the course or 2/3 of the way through the course. Make sure you pack some snacks, drinks, something like that. Because, like Trent said, it's not unbearable walk, but it tests you a little bit. It's a little bit physically demanding, so you want to make sure you're well and fueled up, especially when, like Trent and I did, we did two courses. If you don't pack some snacks or something like that, and you're just physically, mentally just drained, tired, and you don't have fuel to kind of keep yourself going, it's tough. And then my third one that I would recommend is plenty of arrows. Right, so before I went, I got like a dozen of arrows that, like I said, I didn't have a personal or emotional attachment to. And then before we actually went, we stopped at Walmart because Trent told me his local Walmart had like a clearance deal on like arrows for $3. So I picked up a handful more there, and thankfully didn't have to dive into them too much. I think busted one of them, but all in all, that's a big thing. So recap for me would be good quality bow that is going to hold up and something you're comfortable with, snacks, and you're a good stack of arrows. Definitely easier to have too much than not enough, because if you get halfway through there and you run out of arrows, that's not going to be a fun day.
Yeah, so mine, those were all good. I would say the one thing for the bow, make sure it's something you're confident in. Get your reps in, get your shots in, shoot at all different yardages, shoot at weird angles, shoot from your knees, shoot on uneven terrain, right? Because most of the time we're shooting on flat ground. You have firm, steady, your feet are on flat ground. No one's pushing you over. Yeah. On the course, you're standing on rocks where one foot could be 1.5 feet higher than the other, and the one rock might be moving a little bit. So equipment that you're confident in and that you've tested at all different yardages. Make sure your sight tapes are right. 2 would be rangefinder and binoculars.
Yeah, good ones.
A necessity. Rangefinder more so than binoculars, but binoculars because there's some targets it's tough, and it's also nice so when like Jake's shooting, I can pull up my binoculars and watch the target to see where his arrow goes.
Yeah.
So like if he misses low, high, left, right, I have a general idea of where it went. I would say I had a hiking backpack with a camelback for a water pouch. I love that. It made it super easy. But then another thing that you have to be mindful of is like weight management, and that you're not lugging around in a backpack 45 pounds of stuff, because you're going to get beat. You are. So take what's necessary. Don't take all these extra stuffs. A small first aid kit might be beneficial. Always have a secondary release in case your release breaks. Some Allen wrenches. I had some other tools in case like a D-loop broke or whatnot. An arrow puller. We didn't even need it, but an arrow puller is nice to have in case your arrow gets stuck in, say, a tree, a log, or a target that's just brand new and the foam's tough.
Mm-hmm.
What else? A rain jacket that's easily packable in case it does start to rain. Luckily, we didn't need that. But yeah, and a good pair of hiking boots.
Yeah, I was just ready to say that. Yeah, for sure. Yep.
And we both wore like light moisture wicking pants, which are nice, real lightweight, not bogging your legs down. But the hiking boots is a necessity because there were times that we were walking through 2 inches of water on the trail to get from target to target. Lots of uneven terrain, slippy terrain, so something with good tread, preferably waterproof, will serve you well.
No, absolutely. I mean, yeah, that's some very good points. I mean, highly recommend anybody that's even interested in go and check it out, because there was some other courses, right? Don't get me wrong, the courses we did were manageable by anybody, and I think the big thing too to point out too, right? And they have this on their website. If you don't feel comfortable taking that 97-yard shot, move in, right? From the cone, move into a safe distance that you feel confident and comfortable with. That's highly encouraged. We saw that happen with a couple folks that we shot with, and I mean, there was even one that I shot that was like, look, a 6'5" guy is not going to be able to shoot this, because literally the branch is right in vision with my eyes. Like, I'm going to schwack that branch without a doubt. And I don't feel like kneeling down. So I just walked like 5 yards in front of that and shot. But I tell you who didn't miss all day, and I think this needs to be addressed, is in our second course, dude, there was these two guys and the one guy's daughter, I believe, and they were so much fun. I mean, we had a blast with them. They made us laugh. They were a lot of fun. They shot really well and were very relatable and cool. But the daughter, who, I don't know, Trent and I thought maybe she was like 12, 14 at the oldest, she didn't miss a single target all day other than one, and that was because it was a wrong yardage that she got.
She was a stone cold killer, Jake. She showed zero emotion. We get up there, and she's like, "What's the yardage?" And they'd say like 54. She'd dial her sight. She pulls back, shoots foam, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh!" And she's just like, on to the next. Like, no emotion.
Yeah.
She just knew that she was her.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah, and it absolutely incredible.
Because there was, like, the shots we're describing, there were some where, I mean, I don't know how in the world anybody could have made those shots. I mean, Trent made pretty much all of them, but I don't know how some people even got a shot in there, but she would just launch this baby in there and just bam, foam every single time, it seemed like. And the only one she missed that they said that she missed was, I think the yardage was 63, and the guys that she was with said 53. And yeah, she was like short, or vice versa. She was short or really, really long. But otherwise, I mean, that was the only one I think she missed all day.
Yeah. Yeah, she put on a clinic, that's for sure.
It was awesome. Absolutely awesome to see.
But yeah, that's the nice thing about the event. We didn't run into a single person that was, rude in any manner. It was all very good company. Didn't feel like we were being rushed. Didn't feel like we were being, it just felt like we were welcome everywhere we went, everyone we talked to. So it was definitely an event that I told Jake, I'm talking the easiest, one of the top 10 days of my life.
Yeah.
It may be in my top 5. I know that's a wild thing for me to say, but for those of you who don't know me, when I have a bow in my hand and I'm shooting, everything in my mind, all of my worries, all of stress, gone. Mm-hmm. If I need somewhere to go, something to do, to erase all my worries, it's shooting a bow. And being on that mountain, like, it was just... I told Jake I could have shot all 4 days.
Yeah.
No doubt. I mean, last night, I was tuckered. After we got down off the ski lift and I laid on that bed, I was like, oh.
Yeah, we got showers, threw hot food in our head, and, like, we turned on the basketball game, and I don't think you made it till halftime. And I fell asleep before halftime, woke up after halftime, watched a little bit of the third quarter, and I was like, dude, I don't even know what I'm watching right now because I keep falling asleep. So I turned it off then, too.
I don't even think I made it through the first quarter. Literally, as soon as I texted my wife, "Good night, I love you," I turned my phone off, I set on the charger, I flipped over, and I don't think it was 2 minutes, and I was out.
Yeah.
And for me, it usually takes me 10 to 15 minutes to fall asleep. Last night, and two, probably didn't help that, like, all day, you were snacking, you're like, yeah, you want a snack? I'm like, nah, I'm good. I took 6 of these, like, fruit strips from, like, Aldi's.
Yeah,
and
they're awesome.
And I had, like, some granola bars. All I ate all day was 6 of those fruit strips.
Yeah.
And I ate 5 of them at one time.
And the breakfast casserole in the morning that you made, that was absolute fire, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that was incredible. But yeah, I saw, what was it was like partway through the second course, I think.
Yeah.
And I look over, and I bought a box of like 20 or 21 of these strawberry fruit strips you can get at Aldi's for a couple bucks, and they're incredible. They have wild berry and strawberry ones, so shout out Aldi. He's over there. He took like 5 or 6 of them. He's just over there ripping them open, hammering them in his head like one after the other. And I was like, they're good. They're real good. They're addicting. He's like, yeah, they are good. And he's just hammering them in his head. And that's literally, I think, the only thing you ate all day. Because I offered you jerky, offered you other stuff, and you're just like, nah, I want to keep trucking.
Yeah, I ate 2 bites of my egg casserole in the morning, but I was too excited to eat.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't eat. And then also, like, if my mind's busy, I don't get hungry or I don't think about eating.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I actually thought about eating, that's when I put 5 of those in my head. I knew how to get something in me because at that point I probably had 300 and some milligrams of caffeine in my body.
Oh, yeah, true.
So I don't drink energy drinks often, put it that way. I got a Red Bull the night before, drank a Red Bull that morning just because I knew I was going to be excited. I was like, let's just start this day off on a high note. There was 115 in my head by 8.
Yeah, easily.
By 8. And then when we're standing in line at registration, they're handing out, like, electrolyte packets, right? Like, by a company called Black Flag. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So in my Camelback, we get back to the room, and I dump each got 2. I dumped both of these electrolyte packets, what I thought was electrolyte packets, in my Camelback, right? 2 liters of water that I packed from the day before in a cooler in the fridge. Dump these packets in. I get in there, get it all shaken up, get it packed away, and then you go, holy cow, guess how much caffeine's in this one? I said, in what, an electrolyte packet? He's like, yeah. I was like, I don't know, 80? He's like, 200. I was like, wait, what? So then I looked at the packet, one of the packets I put in, one was electrolytes and the other one was energy.
Yeah.
So I finished my Camelback, I don't know, probably halfway through the second course. So I was getting a little bit of energy throughout the day from my Camelback that I didn't know I was putting in my body.
Yeah, you were definitely wired up for sound since you hammered all that in your head, and I wouldn't have even want to known what I would have been like if I hammered that in my head too. But I don't know. I'm anxious to try those packets. I don't know when I'm going to try them, but I will try them soon.
My suggestion, it said one packet is 10 to 12 ounces or 10 to 20 ounces of water. I did 2 packets in 2 liters of water, so it should have been very much diluted. Or, I mean, I had way too much water for the packets, but I was like, whatever, but something's better than nothing. It was strong. For those of you who ever use like Liquid IV, they call for like 12 ounces of water. If you put a whole packet in 12 ounces, you're like drinking chalk.
Oh, I get it.
That's what this was like. But it kept me hydrated throughout the day.
That's right.
And it kind of like, the nice thing about Camelback, it persuades you to drink. Because the more you drink, the lighter your pack gets.
Oh, yeah, good point. Great point.
So if your legs are getting tired, you're like, I got to bail back some water to take some weight off. And the Camelback's nice is because your straw's right at your shoulder, so you can literally just pop the hose off, take a sip, throw it back on, you're good to go. You don't have to take your backpack off, dig through your bag for some water.
Yeah.
But overall, fantastic experience. I know I'll definitely be back. I don't know about you, but I'll be back.
Oh, you better believe it, dude. Like I told you on the way home, telling listeners now to be prepared. I'm going all in. Not to spoil too much, but I'm going all in on freaking archery shooting now. I mean, I am so hooked. Like, I can't even describe in the words how addicting this is, it's borderline like golf addiction for me. I am so hooked into archery shooting right now that I'm literally debating about tonight. On the way home, you were telling me about some local clubs I could potentially join. I think tonight I was going to fill out an application for a local club to join to just start shooting.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so hooked. It's not even funny.
It's a great sport. It's a sport, like I told you on Wednesday or Thursday, it's very similar to golf, where you're constantly chasing perfection.
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to get there unless you're Levi Morgan or Bodie Turner. But, there were plenty of shots I had that I wish I could have back. I think I missed three on the day.
Yeah.
You constantly chase perfection. It's never going to happen. But when you miss one, what I want to do instantly again is shoot again, because I know I can hit that target. It's like, I know I screwed up. I want to do it again. So it's one of those sports that just keeps you coming back, keeps you outside, gets you fresh air. And especially when you can do it with friends, family, it's just a good time.
That's right. And I can almost guarantee it, barring anything crazy, wild, or catastrophic happening, we're going to be a back attack next year.
Yeah.
I'm putting that promise out there now. If the invite's open, I'm going to be there, baby, because I was so hooked after one day there. I'm hooked for life. I'm going back as often and as many times as I can.
Yeah, and shout out to all the TAC employees putting on a great event for that many people. Set up very well. The amount of time that went into putting all the targets out, the water stations, all the flagging. Just a phenomenal event that has people coming back year after year, and with how quick it sells out, they know they're doing something right.
Oh, 100% for sure. So we'll see. But yeah, stay tuned. We did not film like entire shoots or anything like that, just because we wanted to be respectful to kind of fellow shooters and just kind of keep pace going for everybody. But we did get some pretty cool clips. There might be a little bit of a montage or video that we'll put together here to put on YouTube, put some out on TikTok, the whole 9 yards, Instagram. You'll see some of the shots we did, some of the things we had to do. Just all in all, cool event, cool way to kick off the weekend. Truthfully, am already counting down the days until next year's TAC. Like that's how hooked I am on this now, Trent. Like, I'm all in, dude.
But yeah, I think going straight from that to gas and brakes, I think it's easy for me. I'm going gas on the Total Archery Challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, like when I tell you it may be in the top 5 best days of my life, I just enjoyed it that much.
Yeah.
So going gas on TAC.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy pick. I was going to do something very similar, but I think honestly after this weekend, I'm just going gas on kind of the archery community and the sport of archery. Something I've always done just kind of for fun. Like, grew up shooting bow a little bit, family hunted archery a little bit, but we weren't like hardcore or anything like that. Like, we weren't the type of people that were getting brand new bows every year or anything like that. But after this weekend, dude, I am fully hooked, going fully gas on the archery community, archery as a sport, archery as, a hunting way to hunt more. I mean, I hunted some archery, but never did anything with it really, or really invested a lot of time into it. So going all gas on that. It's going to be an interesting year. I'm fired up for it, dude. So yeah, easy gas this week for both of us, I think. For sure. All right. Well, jumping into the final and last segment of the show here. I mean, quite a lengthy, full episode here tonight. But I mean, we could have told you so many stories, so many different things about TAC. But there was so much more we could share that it's just hard to put into words for everything. But going into our final segment of the show here tonight, Trent, I'm going to reveal kind of the blind draft results from last week. It was the best current NFL QB. And, I'm honestly kind of surprised by the results. I thought it was going to be pretty tight. But last week I got 67% of the vote. You got 33%. And we actually had some people, or had a guy comment, on the post itself that didn't vote directly, threw a vote in for me as well. So not sure how that shaped the percentages, but that now takes us to the totals. Trent, you're still at 24. I'm up to 21 now, so slowly catching you. Still 4 ties and 2 to our special guests. But this week, Trent, you want to describe to the folks what we're doing for the blind draft here this week?
Yeah, we're going to do the top things you have hunted or the top things you want to hunt. So it could be something that you have hunted before or just kind of a bucket list item or bucket list animal.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think it might be your turn to flip.
My turn to flip?
I think.
All right, what do you call them?
Heads. Heads as always.
Flip a coin. Tails.
Oh, man. So, real quick clarification. Obviously, I feel like deer is going to be on one of the picks.
Yep.
Are we doing just deer, or are we going to
species.
do... What's that?
Species.
Okay.
Not just deer in general. There's like 5 different types of deer.
So if I say white-tailed deer, does that take rifle, archery, everything, muzzleloader, everything?
Yeah, I think we're just going to go straight animals.
Love it. I love it. That's a good idea.
Because I think all of mine would be archery.
Yeah.
I could sell all of my rifles right now and be completely fine with it. So,
honestly, after this weekend, I might be in the same boat.
All right, Jake. Number 1, I'm taking elk.
Oh, okay.
And to clarification, that's something I want to hunt. I've never hunted, but that is on my bucket list someday.
Good one. Good one. Yeah, for my number 1 pick, I think I got to go with the tried and true classic for our area, white-tailed deer. I mean, that's got to be an obvious 1A, 1B sort of scenario there.
All right. Jake, I'm going another big one. Moose, number 2.
Dang, that's a good one. Those things are huge.
Yep.
Number 2. This is so tough, dude. I feel like for me, number 2 would have to be... Yeah, something that I've never done before, but I know a lot of people locally do it, that I wouldn't mind giving it a try, is bear hunting.
All right.
So I'm going to go black bear.
All right, Jake. Number 3, I'm going to go antelope.
Okay. Lovely. Number 3. I'm going to... Man, this is tough. Number 3... So growing up, quick side story. Growing up, I was really into safari animals. Loved the African animals. I always dreamed of being a zookeeper growing up, just because I loved animals, and especially the African wildlife there. So number 3 is going to kind of take me back to those roots there. Number 3, I'd like to hunt sometime. I don't know, there's so many good ones over there. I feel like I got to go with a kudu. The ones with the sort of twisted horn or antlers. No, horns. Yeah, twisted horns.
That was on my list, and I was banking you weren't going to say it, so I was going to try to keep it at 5.
Yeah, dude, I loved the safari animals growing up, man. And I still do, but that was on the list.
All right, Jake. Number 4, I'm going to go mule deer. I'm sticking out west.
Love it. For me, at number 4, I would love to do... And the only reason why I thought of this was because when we turned on the Outdoor Channel last night and saw this a little bit, I would love to do those wild boar hunts. The ones you do off the helicopters and all sorts of craziness. Apparently they're really just absolutely awful for the environment and for the habitat down there. But I would love to shoot like them wild boars.
Jake, I think you would cry like a little girl in a helicopter shooting hogs.
If I'm strapped in good enough, right? If I got the straps, I'm good.
If you watch those clips, man, they are hanging off the side with a tether, but like you're not belted to a seat. You are hanging off of the edge with a tether in case you fall that you're connected. But you are hanging off the edge as the pilot's like going sideways.
That's nuts. Yeah.
I'd throw up. I'd get motion sick.
It'd be something.
A lot of videos I've seen of people that don't get motion sick typically, they get on that helicopter and they do one flyby, and they're like, boo, I gotta go back. I'm gonna lose my cookies. All right, round it out. Number 5. I'm going to go with something I have hunted before. Pheasant.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay.
Pheasant hunting's a blast, especially with dogs.
Yeah, I tell you what. Number 5. Easy. Not an easy pick for me. There's a lot of other stuff I think we could probably do a couple honorable mentions here. But I feel like for me, number 5 has got to be like a wood duck. Like going duck hunting.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a bunch of different ducks, but I'd probably say wood duck. I mean, they just look beautiful and are just really unique. I've never gone duck hunting a day in my life, but that's something I've always wanted to do and get into, but I just haven't taken the time to do it.
Yeah, so my list was elk at number 1, moose at 2, antelope at 3, mule deer at 4, and pheasant at 5.
Yeah, good list there. And mine is number 1 whitetail, 2 black bear, 3 kudu, 4 wild boar, 5 the wood duck. I think it's reasonable to throw some honorable mentions out there. I think for me, a couple honorable mentions for me was, I was thinking of like a water buffalo or like a wildebeest. Those two on the Africa side are kind of neat. Another one that I was kind of thinking about, honestly, very basic and simple, is squirrel hunting, dude. I love squirrel hunting with a burning passion. I could do that, a couple times a week if I could. I mean, I enjoy that a lot. Number 4 is more of a hate pick for me. I was going to put Canada goose in there just because I can't stand them animals with a burning passion. They're right up there with ticks and mosquitoes, in my opinion. So, yeah, that was going to potentially be number 5, but I went more realistic with the wood duck then.
Yeah, I think rabbit was on my honorable mentions. Rabbit hunting, I love it with passion. It's great. And then one of the African ones would be a Cape buffalo.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Because they are giant.
Yeah.
Absolutely giant. And then something I have hunted also Africa side would be impala.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like a small white-tailed deer, body size, like half the size of a whitetail, but they run like a rabbit and they jump like a rabbit.
Man.
Yeah, they are incredible. But that's all I had because you stole kudu off my list.
Yeah, no, that was a fun one. I enjoyed that a lot. We might have to delve into the fishing world maybe or something like that. But yeah, that was fun. If you feel like we missed anything there, something that you've enjoyed hunting in the past, or something that you would have, have on your bucket list for hunting, let us know in the comments. What you feel like we might have missed, or something that you feel strongly about. Love to hear what potentially some people would have on their bucket list for hunts, or have hunted before that have been really cool or unique that we might have missed there. But all in all, wow, what a doozy of an episode, Trent. This might be pushing our longest one yet.
Yeah, it's close. I think we have one that's probably an hour and 10, but it's getting there.
Yeah. I mean, a lot that we probably could have gone even deeper on tack, but I mean, all in all, great episode, great weekend, or great start to the weekend, I should say, with tack. will be back again. Absolutely, without a doubt, if we can make it happen. Just awesome opportunity. But once again, just got to give a shout out to the Jake Brake faithful. Appreciate you tuning in for a year now. Episode 52, a big one. Appreciate everything that you do to support the show. We're looking to just keep growing the show, getting bigger and better each week, every week, I should say. Growing the show and making it better week in and week out. So anything you can do to help us reach that 1,000 subscriber mark, be sure to tell your friends, family, loved ones, neighbors, colleagues, co-workers, anybody that you might run into about the Jake Brake, because like I said, we're looking to make this show bigger and better week in and week out for our fans, for our listeners, for all of you that have tuned in for 52 episodes straight. But as we wrap up another show, Trent, anything else for the Jake Brake faithful?
I don't think so, man.
Okay, well, we'll let you all go. It's Friday night. We need to catch up on some well-deserved sleep after hiking yesterday and driving out and back to Seven Springs. But appreciate you all again. We will see you next week. Stay tuned for some great videos and clips from good old Total Archery Challenge.